been knew that was phony, I been knew that. Bitch, I see what lonely. See little pot of red gold. Talk 9 5 to the cold, bitch.
Yo, today about to be reacting to why being a nerd is cool now. Now, I feel like we all have nerd tendencies and like certain things that nerds may like, or like certain things that other people may say is nerdy or uncool. But hey, I'm gonna say I got nerdy tendencies because I like anime and all that extra stuff. But let's see what he's talking about. Why is it cool to be a nerd?
I think
Genuinely
the
curious.
idea of, quote, being a nerd became cool or popular. Now, a lot of us are going to have interests that are considered, quote, nerdy
Yeah.
because, well, we grew up with technology and we're going to discover things that we like across the internet.
Right.
Now, back in, like, I don't know, the 1980s or some shit, if you said you liked video games or solving Rubik's Cubes or comic books, people who were bullies back then would have deadass called you a dweeb
See,
and
I wasn't
fucking
that
shoved you in a
nerdy.
locker.
No, I ain't get into no Rubik's Cube or no comic book, but the video games for sure. Rubik's Cube is so hard to crack. I only know one person that was real cold at that. His name was Derek. You know what I'm saying?
Gave you a wet willy. Some people, if
Wet
you
willy is
even
crazy.
did
I wish a
anything
nigga
on
would
the
try to give me a wet willy. Niggas gonna get real. It's gonna get real physical in that. Swear. What? Shut up.
computer, they will look at you like some kind of alien. And if something wasn't considered mainstream, it was not socially acceptable. And some people would get bullied for doing these things.
That is
now,
crazy,
I don't
though,
really
man.
remember much about the 2000s, so I can't really speak on that. But at least the 2010s and the 2020s, everybody is using some form of technology or playing video games, watching anime,
For sure.
or anything like that. I don't know. But it's kind of crazy to me how these things went from not socially acceptable at all to
But
very
playing the
popular.
game was nerdy. I feel like that was always more so of like a guy thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like playing games is always cool. You know
Like,
what
it's
I'm
just
saying?
weird how that works. But at the same time, it doesn't really surprise me, though, since technology use is at an all-time high. And if you invested in Apple in 2007, you would be able to feed your family for generations. I was too busy watching The Wiggles and being barely conscious. Come on, bro. Lock in.
2007. I was 4. No. Yeah, I was 4. I don't know what I was doing.
Apple, what the hell are you
2007.
doing? And ever since then, the overall popularity of things online has just been going crazy. The internet influences every single thing we do. The content that we consume is a huge part of our thought process. So why did it get to this point? And what was the sudden jump in popularity? Well, I
I'm
guess that's what we're
curious.
going to answer in today's video.
Yeah,
Now, in the
let me know something.
2010s, I feel like, I guess that nerdy stigma around gaming faded a little bit because a lot of people were buying consoles in like the late 90s and the 2000s. And by the time the 2010s rolled around, having a gaming console in your house was like a
But
really
okay,
common thing.
if playing a game is nerdy, then what were you doing? What were you doing at that time? Genuinely, just on your phone the whole time? I guess you can go outside, go hoop or not. But when you get home and it's late at night, what are you doing late at night? Genuinely, that's so cool and not nerdy. I'm confusion.
By then, so many people had consoles in their house. And every single time, the market leaders were literally just pushing the needle for how wide of an audience
think
it could
playing a
reach.
game was
And when
nerdy, bro.
apps like YouTube and Twitch started to become popular,
Now,
that
if you
definitely
play certain games, that's nerdy, like RPGs and all that extra stuff. I guess Minecraft kind of borderline. What else is a nerdy game that people be playing? I feel like Overwatch is a nerdy game. You know what I'm saying? A nerdy game. That Lego stuff, that's nerdy. And so on and so forth. Maybe Dragon Ball Z.
push the
It depend on
idea
what you
of
playing,
gaming. YouTubers like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie,
You
Hey
love
man, I'm gonna
building
get a ad
high-performing
block when I get
websites,
monetized. Don't worry about
but
it.
you don't love having to
But
chase
how
clients
y'all
down
morning
for
going?
content.
Mine is going very
were
well.
very popular in like the mid 2010s. So much so that PewDiePie was like the most subscribed YouTuber at the time. And a lot of people just found watching other people playing games interesting, even though they could literally just log on and play the game themselves. And later, as years
couldn't
went
do that.
on, Fortnite became very popular. And that was the new thing that everybody was talking about. Even fucking news outlets were talking about it. And Fortnite has been downloaded over 500 million times. And even
They getting money. They still popping to this day. The Fortnite in its run needs to be studied. Whoever developed Fortnite and the creators of Fortnite, they need I know they got millions, but they need more millions because that's crazy.
Game like Minecraft that was really popular in 2012, 2013 had a resurgence in 2019 because of people playing the game like PewDiePie. And that influenced so many people to play these games because Twitch streamers and YouTubers were playing it. And that really pushed the idea of gaming. And especially when 2020 hit, nobody had shit to do.
Literally, bro, if you're not you're a nerd or you're not a nerd. What are you doing during COVID? Watching TV? Being on your phone the whole time? Nigga, we're in social distance right now. You can't socially contact nobody, like in person. You know what I'm saying? You can't really go do nothing. So what are you doing?
Normally didn't play games or use the internet like that.
Bro.
Was kind of forced to. Because what else were you going to do? Like, you couldn't even go outside without wearing a mask, or even at some points, nobody stepped outside because they were just afraid of getting it. So these things that would be considered like, quote, nerdy in like the 1980s or 1990s suddenly became really popular. But one thing that blew up like crazy around that time was anime. Now, there was a huge switch up around anime. There was a stigma about anime that like, oh, if you watch anime, like, oh, you smell bad and this and that. I mean,
to be fair, it was okay. I watched anime in school. I've been watching anime for a very long time, but it's some people that love anime and it's people that love anime. I was one of the people that love anime. The people that love anime, you know the difference, bro. Running through the hallways, doing the little gang signs and all that extra stuff, the Naruto hand signs, talking in Japanese. You know, doing cosplay, running down the hall.
There's bad apples in every single fan base. That's just how it is. I feel like as the years went on, it just grew a lot.
We're not gonna act like they wasn't.
Like even the 90s and the 2000s, Dragon Ball Z and like Pokemon.
Smash Bros. That's a nerdy game too.
Popular, but especially in the year 2020, people got into anime heavily. I remember the year after, a lot of people were talking about anime in school, which kind of shocked me because I didn't realize how big it was. Like, I just thought maybe a handful of people in our school watched it, but no, like a lot of people were talking about it. And what was the reason behind this? What was with the switch up? Well, a lot of anime became accessible on Netflix, so I would definitely assume that it has something to do with it. And apps like Crunchyroll also got really popular.
You know, me personally, I use Funimation, but I discovered a lot of good animes on Netflix, so that's a great point. One Piece, I got into that. Your Lie in April, Toradora. I'm just giving y'all some good shows to go watch that I like personally. If you want to cry, go watch Your Lie in April. If you want a little romantic love story thing, go to Toradora. And if you just want an overall great story, go to One Piece. Even though it's long, some episodes you definitely got to skip. You know the filler episodes. The filler episodes, you skip those. But if you want a main story, watch One Piece. Trust.
In this
bro, just trust me, bro. Just trust me.
Like that, it just rose in popularity as the years went on. And it completely spiked in January 2024. Crunchyroll now had 15 million subscribers. Damn. So the pandemic was just the catalyst, and that shit was already on its way up. And now I'm not going to act like I was a fan of
Funimation just because they had a lot of dubs. Crunchyroll didn't really have a lot of dubbed animes for me. You know, I like dub.
Because I definitely hopped on the bandwagon, bro. I'm not going to lie. So I started watching.
Hey man, let me get an ad blocker when I get monetized. Don't worry about it, y'all.
I've never heard it. Let's see what happens. I'm using co-producer by Output for this. It's big.
Oh, another one for y'all. Food Wars. Kind of freaky, but it's a good storyline to it. It's not even like no freaky stuff. It's just people have. Just watch it, bro. Just watch it. Just
anime in 2022.
That should be
when
on
I finally
Netflix
purchased
still.
the Netflix subscription.
Just go watch.
I don't know why
Wars,
it took
bro.
me so long, but yeah, it is really crazy seeing like how much anime's become a part of pop culture in the last 20 years or so. Now I feel like anime is also used in a lot of different memes, and it's like a huge part of like the reaction images on TikTok. And speaking of, another thing that also became huge was memes. We all communicate via meme now. Like, it's crazy. Memes have just merged
we always
with pop
communicated
culture
through
so
memes. They just became more relatable and more funny and more understandable. That's how I see it, though.
You will hear memes in your daily life now. When I walk into my college classes, sometimes I will hear people say 6'7". I literally got called Unk in one of my classes, bro. I got called Unk. Okay, I definitely should not be surprised at this point. Okay, but anyways, in the 2000s, memes were in their infancy. So the internet moved mad slow, so there weren't gonna be that many memes. And memes lasted for like fucking decades. unfortunately. Maybe not decades, but like they lasted years. And people would send each other memes like via email or some shit.
Yeah,
so
memes
you
been
could
around
just
for a
imagine
minute,
how slow
but that just
memes
became
were
more funny
spreading at
over
that
the
point.
years,
But I feel
especially
like
in video
memes got
form.
mainstream in like probably like the mid 2010s because I started to see photos of memes being used like in my class at school or like on the lunch table, and everybody was just clowning the school, bro. They were like, what the hell is this? And it had some caption to go along with it, which nowadays, like, we'd probably look at that shit and be like, what the hell do we need the caption for? You could literally just show the person's facial expression. But as we consume more content through like TikTok or Instagram Reels, new memes are gonna come and go faster. Some memes last, but I feel like the average lifespan of a meme
is a
like
meme without a caption? A good caption. A great caption could make a a great caption could make a mid meme hilarious or mid meme phenomenal.
Bad. And some of them are just so random, I don't even understand them anymore. Like, what the hell is chicken stars? Like, I just don't get it. There are definitely memes that I find funny, and there's definitely memes that still last a long time. Like, this meme of Speed trying not to laugh has been going around for, like, years now. And I feel like at this point, the meme is just generational. But aside from all the exceptions, memes just move so fast now. And they've gotten so popular to the point where if you open any comment section, you will see a lot of these, like, reaction images. And I feel like as memes gotten more popular, like the older generation has also been catching on quicker, which could also be why people are saying, oh, the meme's dead, the trend's over. Like, you will see a meme on the news within at least a week of it being out now, or at least the really popular ones. Like, there's this robot going around called like Rizbot, which is a crazy name for a robot, by the way. Apparently he was talked about on the news, which in the year like 2000
Rizbot,
you never
who really still saying Riz? Didn't that word get killed in like 2019, 2020, bro? Like, let's be real, bro.
Imagine a meme being talked about on the news. And since nerd culture has gotten really popular in the past like 15 years or so, it makes sense that a lot of people are going to start talking about it on TikTok. I would say that nerd culture is at its all-time peak, considering that there was a whole TikTok trend saying that you need to nerd out. Now, what the hell does this even mean? Well,
I don't know.
Nerding out was essentially the idea of just putting all your interests that people would consider nerdy on screen. I think we got to a point where...
Hold on, bro. How is MTV nerdy? Hold on. The Maze Runner pretty freaking nerdy. Kung Fu Panda, Nintendo nerdy. Glee, Foo Boys. Twilight, Foo. Bluey is nerdy? That's for my baby. Who was watching Bluey? I'm confusing. But that's crazy. Naruto, I watched Naruto. That's nerdy, I guess. Super Mario, I don't feel like that's nerdy. Sega, nah. Minecraft, pretty nerdy. Avatar, nerdy. You know, Pokemon, pretty freaking nerdy. I said freaking, not the F word. Teen Wolf, you have to be around to understand it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really watch it. Adventure Time, kind of nerdy. It's a lot of life lessons in Adventure Time. If you want to watch an animated show with a lot of meaning and a lot of life lessons, go watch Adventure Time. A lot of stuff you can relate to. Go here. Then Gravity Falls. Yeah.
People were just trying to be different, like just for the sake of being different. And they were just claiming that they were a nerd, even though their interests were like not considered nerdy.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of people started to get upset when people were putting things like
Bluey is crazy. Bluey just blew up. Like, I feel like Bluey recently blew up, and that's more so for kids. Why are you watching Bluey? It's like watching Dora.
Taco Bell, Starbucks, Target, and apparently one person even put Gmail. Like, I get that you could be a nerd about
Gmail
anything,
is nerdy?
technically.
What?
Like, do you watch the Starbucks iceberg? That's like 3 hours long. Okay, maybe you are a Starbucks nerd. But still, my point stands that some people are just trying to say that they're a nerd for the sake of being different. Like, it's okay if you're not really into things that are considered nerdy. Like, you don't have to be. No one's telling you that you have to be a nerd about something. Like, some people are just doing this for the sake of being niche. niche. Like, I probably have the most basic fashion sense known to man. I like it, and I wear these clothes anyway, so it's fine. It's not a bad thing to be considered, quote, basic. It's about liking the shit you want to like. If you just hop on the trend just because it's cool to be considered different, you're just being performative. Like, I could definitely understand why people are upset that people are putting, like, popular establishments on the thing, because it's not like it's a niche reference about the establishment, or like a niche limited time drink that's sold at the establishment that you really liked. No, it's just the logo itself.
I can see why somebody that's a nerd is mad, because ain't nothing nerdy about this. It's nerdy to eat. What? I'm trying to think of a nerdy food. I don't understand what would be considered a nerdy food. Nothing. Like what, bro?
I mean, people may have been doing this to rage bait. I don't know. Because there's no way somebody's including Chipotle, a dog, and a water bottle. I'm not saying this to try to
You gotta be a nerd to drink water. Okay, buddy.
Right, but listen, I don't know. At least to me, it just doesn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, bro, it's just a TikTok trend.
Hey, man. Anyways, me personally, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself. I could be an undercover nerd. Cause I like a lot of nerdy stuff. Like anime is my biggest. You know, I don't really play the game as much these days, but I don't even think gaming is considered nerdy. But if you have nerdy tendencies yourself or nerdy hobbies that you like to do, let me know down in the comments below. And until then, I'm gonna catch you niggas in the next one. Yes, sir.